Hello and welcome to a slightly extended 10-day trend this week because although the next 10 days are reasonably straightforward as far as the weather trend goes, it's going to start off cold with some snow and then into next week it will eventually turn milder with some rain. I know there is currently a lot of interest in what happens beyond 10 days, so I'm going to be taking a look at some of the competing influences on the UK's weather during the rest of winter. But for the time being, of course, it's cold widely across the country. You can see those blues on the map there. Add into the mix a weather front moving in from the northwest, and that's going to bring a spell of snow Wednesday night into Thursday morning for Scotland and Northern Ireland. Now, rain and sleet around coastal areas, but inland, a couple of centimetres of snow likely, some icy patches as well. And over the hills, a significant covering of snow for Scotland and Northern Ireland. By mid-morning, that's drifting into southern Scotland and northern England. Again, rain, sleet and snow at lower levels, snow covering over hills, some icy patches also to begin the day for eastern England. But showers here fading away. Plenty of sunshine for southern parts of the country and brighter skies there for Scotland and Northern Ireland. But some snow showers arriving into the north of Scotland, bringing further snowfall and accumulating snow for northern and eastern Scotland during Friday. Also, there'll be some rain, sleet and snow through central parts of the country, but not a great deal. Some rain showers, perhaps some hill snow for Dartmoor there on Friday. A cold day to come for many, but a bright day for many. Still some sunshine around. High pressure continues to be in charge of our weather, really. Heading into the weekend, a widespread severe frost in places on Saturday. A very cold start to the day. But changes are afoot because you can see these milder colours starting to arrive through the weekend into the north. Weather fronts also starting to arrive, and so a change on the way this weekend, but it's a slow change. So Saturday starts off with a widespread frost, some very low numbers. These are towns and cities, but I think in the countryside, minus double digits is still possible in places. And then on Saturday itself, a dry and bright day for most, but there will be some outbreaks of rain arriving into northern and western Scotland. I say rain, most of this will be rain, but some hill snow associated with it. By Sunday, the milder air is into northern parts of the country, so less frosty for Scotland and Northern Ireland, parts of northern England. Still a very chilly one, a frost there for southern parts of the country. Cloud spills southeastwards, some outbreaks of rain over the hills, I think. Best of the sunshine in the southeast, but the rain becoming more persistent in the northwest. And look at those numbers, milder than it's been for some time across Scotland. Again, further rain on Monday in the north and west of Scotland in particular, but outbreaks of rain spilling into other western parts of the country, mainly hill rain and drizzle. And temperatures slowly edging their way upwards, so it's turning milder, but it's a slow process through the weekend and into the start of next week. As the winds change direction, we've had easterlies for a while, we're now swapping them for westerlies. They're coming in around this area of high pressure, which is stationed to the southwest, and the jet stream is rising above it there. And really, the jet stream's not a flat, powerful feature that brings storm after storm after storm that we often get in autumn and winter. It's still slightly on the weak side, and so it's not really breaking through this cold block to the east over Scandinavia. Very cold air there, but it is allowing mild air to make inroads across much of the UK. So throughout much of next week, this mild air coming around the top of high pressure that is going to be situated to the southwest, and the jet stream firing weather fronts into northern Britain in particular. So outbreaks of rain for Scotland and Northern Ireland, and some rain spilling south at times. But really, the closer you are to the high pressure, the drier it will be. Lots of dry weather for southern parts of the country. We can't entirely discount this cold air to the northeast either. It could affect northeast Scotland at times, mixing with the weather fronts coming in from the west to bring a snow risk. But for most of the country, much of next week, well, it's looking considerably milder compared to the last couple of weeks. There will be some rain and wind, especially in the north. It will always be drier to the south, albeit quite cloudy at times and fairly breezy at times as well. That's the trend for the next 10 days, but those of you who are interested in a more technical summary of what we think could happen beyond 10 days, well, you're welcome to stay behind after class. And I want to show you this, which is the temperature at around 30 kilometres above the North Pole. You can see what you'd expect, really, through the autumn and early winter, that temperature dropping away close to -80 by December. But in the last few days, look at this. One of the most dramatic phenomena we witness in the atmosphere, a sudden warming in the stratosphere above the North Pole, around 50 degrees in just a couple of days. This sudden stratospheric warming is important because it influences, well, it is associated with a weakening of the stratospheric polar vortex. Why do we care that the stratospheric polar vortex is weakening? Because that can influence our own weather. It may be 30 kilometres above the sky, it might circle around the North Pole, but its influences can extend at lower altitudes. And sometimes we see the stratospheric polar vortex, this ring of winds, reverse direction, become easterlies rather than westerlies. And when that happens, well, it can weaken our very own jet stream. And instead of seeing mild and wet and windy weather carried our way by that jet stream from the Atlantic, well, we start to see colder air from the north and the east. Sometimes. Not all the time, though. On average, around 70% of the time, these sudden stratospheric warmings bring colder conditions to the UK a few weeks after they occur. But that means, of course, 30% of the time, they don't. And there are other influences on our weather. For example, La Nina, which is a particular phase of the sea surface temperatures in the tropical Pacific, is also associated with more likely mild conditions for the second half of winter in the UK. So these are competing influences, not to mention that there are various flavours of sudden stratospheric warming. And there was a recent study that suggested that the particular type of sudden stratospheric warming that we've recently seen is sometimes more associated with mild southwesterlies for the UK. Now, I don't want to bamboozle you with all of this technical knowledge. I just want to highlight how complex this situation is and how many competing influences there are on the UK's weather. So really, it's like a tug of war between these various influences, and whilst you can't predict for certain which one will win, you can assess the various strengths and weaknesses of each side. That's where we are as far as beyond 10 days is concerned, but plenty to keep us occupied during the next few days with cold and wintry weather still to come during the rest of the week and into the weekend. And we'll keep you updated, as always, on social media, the website and the app. Bye-bye.